letter spacing or word spacing. All right. So if the letters are too tight in a paragraph, as you can see, it's very difficult to read. And not only that, it just becomes a blur. So you want to space them out. But you don't want to have too much spacing because then it starts to look uncomfortable to read and the letters and the words start to not feel right and make your eyes tired to read. So you want to, on body text, you don't want to letter space too much unless it's a really dense piece of text or if it's a really long heavy chunk of text. By spacing the lettering out, it can help lighten up the overall chunk of text. Letter spacing though, I find personally, is really nice for emphasising titles and things like that. So you can make some cool things with letter spacing. So one nugget for you, as we eat a lot of nuggets in this lesson or in this class. For titles, when you're using letter spacing, don't do it on lowercase text. It just doesn't look right. So that doesn't look good. So let's say we have this all centered. Oh. That doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. But if you do that on all capitals, that now looks pretty cool. It's got a nice feel to it. So you can emphasize titles using wider letter spacing. Imagine. Think about this. This is just a quick thing when you're doing your typography. So let's squash this down. The word space. All right. Looks quite nice. What about if we just spaced it out? That's looking pretty cool now. So we've added meaning to the word space by spacing out the characters. But also you don't even need to use it to actually play with the meaning of the word. You can use it for doing that, but just for creating emphasis, that looks almost pretty good. So if we were to imagine this, let's think of let's just do a quick headline. Astronomy is we're on space. All right. Headline, astronomy. Oh, come on, sorry. It's not even working. Why don't we just put the Hubble? Right, I'm gonna just type that in myself. There you go. Let's put the in there. I'm just messing around here. But by playing with the spacing, this could almost be a poster. We're going to tighten that just a little bit. But we've almost got a poster going on here. But just using the letter spacing to emphasize the text. But by messing around with the spacing, the letter spacing on the single words here and there, you can create really nice effects. Like I said, keep it on capitals only though, because it doesn't work with lowercase text, in my opinion at least. But you don't have to do it for You don't have to do it for just big titles for movies and things like that. Again, that looks almost movie-esque. But you could imagine you had a paragraph. So let's say, all right, we've got a paragraph of text. So there's my movie title over there. I'm going to leave that up there for movie titles. I'm going to shrink that. I'm going to write left align everything. That's all going to come out the screen now. Line it all up. So now I'm just making a normal title. I don't particularly want that spaced out massively. I'll bring it down in size, so we just put it 52. So now we've got a normal. Imagine this, we've got our website, it's just a bit of text, normal title, nothing amazing. You could do things like, okay, the Hubble telescope, that's going to be in the space section of the website. So I will name this space section. Okay, there you go, we're in space section. Now I'm just going to close that down a little bit and make the text a bit smaller. Now we just got a nice little intro section, little intro title type thing, space section, spaced out, looking pretty cool. Can make that even more, and that looks pretty good. So you can mess around with this stuff. Just getting on my nerves there. Alright, and you can just mess around with that stuff. That's a bit tight. Alright, we'll just put that there. No. That's what I'm trying to do. There you go. So we've emphasised it. You can make that even lighter if you want, because that's a bit of tertiary text. It's just an intro, Hubble telescope. But there you go. We've got a nice little bit of typography there, a little intro text, title and body text, but it's just been emphasised using that, just stretching out the word. Careful with it, have a play around with it, see what it looks like, but you can see by just emphasising it by using all caps. Like I said, don't do it on lowercase, but with all caps you can get some nice effects. Even there, that looks pretty cool. There you go. So just have a mess around with that when you're doing typographical layouts, and you never know, you might find some nice little combinations or nice flourishes that you can make the text look a little bit more interesting than if you just had it at 0. You know, it doesn't look quite as interesting. Spread it out. Wait, looking good. And even I think it looks really nice when you do things like that using ultra light or light. That looks cool. Look, massive amount of contrast. We'll pull this in a little bit. Big contrast, stretched out. Looks cool. Anyway, so that's letter spacing. Use it for opening up the text, just very, very carefully. You don't want it too wide, but if it's feeling a bit hard to read and you've got a very heavy chunk of text, open up the spacing and open up the line height, and that'll make things easier to read. But I try to use it more for little text effects, like that kind of thing, just to create a bit of interest, and always in capitals. Alright, next bit.